Hi, my name is Chitrangada Singh and you're watching the Rockford Circle Season 2. Imagine having your dream shut down. Not once, not twice, but 200 times. Most would give up, but the Narangs, they dug deeper. Inspired by the unwavering tenacity of their furry best friend, Rashi and her husband Samarth turned 200 no's into a resounding yes. From a single idea to 90 stores across 3 countries, they're revolutionizing pet care in India. Get ready to be inspired by the incredible journey. Please welcome Rashi and Samarth Narang, co-founders of Heads Up for Tails. Hi, Rashi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Rockford Circle, Samarth.
Thank you.
So nice for you to have come here and come and chat with us. Please.
Thank you so much.
Let's get started.
We're so excited to be here.
Thank you so much. So are we. Okay. You know what strikes me the most about your story is that it began with something so simple. And that's love.
Yeah.
And lots of it. Love for your pet, love for an idea, and of course there's so much love for each other that I can see. So I want you to first talk about your love story.
Oh, love story.
The love story.
Love story with arranged marriage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was love at first sight, at least for me. We met
Serious?
twice before we got engaged, and then we had a year-long engagement. That's when we got to know each other.
How nice. But did you know back then, like, were you both dog lovers? Did you get to talk that much?
We did talk about dogs, though. I mean, that's always been very central to my life. He didn't have any, nor did the family have any at that time. But there was no way that I could have lived the rest of my life without dogs. So
So it was you actually who was more of the dog lover. You the one who's the heart of this, actually.
I started being the heart of it, but I think Sam has embraced it wholeheartedly, and he's really very much there when it comes to being a great doggy dad.
So what was the love story that you were about to tell me?
I was just
Let's hear
telling, I was
the
going
love
to tell
story
you about
was.
her love story with the business.
With the
it wasn't-
business. So
yeah.
what is your half of that love story? I want to hear your version of it.
Oh, my version started much later. It was, just seeing her do what she did and with the passion that she did it for as long as she did. That's when I decided to say, kuch to hai. And I left what I was doing in Singapore and I joined her.
Yeah, so you both were working. What made you give up your job and decide that? I mean, it's a huge risk, isn't it?
I gave it up very early in my career. I walked into a big, beautiful corporate office, but I felt like I was one of 25,000 people working there. And what I did, on a desk job day after day, it didn't really matter enough. And I think I knew very much early on that I wanted to do something more. And then after we moved back to Delhi, after getting married, we got a little puppy into our life, and I think that just changed everything.
Really?
So, yeah.
So Sarah.
Sarah.
That was the first baby.
Yes.
And when that came home, you gave up your job for that. You're like, this is it. I'm going to be a stay-home mom. Was it like that?
It wasn't like that fully, but I think I was still getting Sam's family warmed up to this puppy. I've always grown up with dogs, but they haven't had dogs in their family for a long time. So just getting everyone warmed up. And I think I was the pet mom and just trying to make the best decisions for her, going from store to store, reading up, learning up on how can I help her live her best life. And I think
Really? You
I
were
was
a
the
pet parent. Yeah,
I was
not just a pet owner.
Yeah.
There's a difference,
Yeah.
right?
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
Yes. Yeah. The word pet owner is just flawed and it shouldn't exist because I don't think it's fair to assume that we can own another being at a spiritual level. And you can own commodities, you can own this cup, this house, this table, this book. You can't own another life, especially one that brings you so much joy, so much love, and
It's like you
lights
can't say you
up.
own your kid.
Exactly.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
I own my son.
Yeah.
You don't.
Exactly.
You're
So I
right.
think that
You're
that
right.
word just
Yeah.
has to be, it has to go away. I mean, we can be pet guardians, pet friends, siblings, parents, but not owners.
I've never thought of it like that, but you're right. So Rashi, you are a pet parent, like through and through. There is no doubt. I want to come to you, Samarth. Were you also pet lover? Like
I was
she
definitely
is?
a pet lover.
You were.
It was innate. I didn't know it.
But you just
But
didn't know
now,
it.
yeah.
So you never had one ever in your house?
No.
And then you had a very lucrative job in Singapore.
Yes.
And you left that and you decided to come back and join your wife.
Yeah.
What made you give up a job like that in Singapore and come back?
The honest answer is the impact.
The impact.
The impact of what she was doing and what I could see we could do together was the motivation behind me leaving what I was doing.
How do you mean impact?
You know, in my previous life, it was only about money. I was in the stock market. We woke up talking about money. We slept talking about money, and eventually it didn't matter. Here it was how we were going to change lives and, how we really do change the pets' lives as we go along. And that was a lot more encouraging and exciting to work after. So that's why it was a very, very easy decision.
Really?
Yeah.
With a 99% haircut on salary.
That wasn't so easy. But
Oh my God, that's a big one. That really is for the love of it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what did you bring into the business? I want to understand. She got the love for it and the passion and everything. What did you bring into the business?
I think I got the structure. I got the administration. I got the sort of the brain behind what we were doing, and she was all heart.
Yeah.
So I think it's very complementary.
Yeah, it is.
And together it sort of makes it a lot of fun.
And who's come up with this unique marketing strategy where you wouldn't really have any ads? You don't really go and do any ads or anything?
We were operating in a completely white space. And I think we wanted to understand what do we want to solve for the pet parents to really understand their pets better, and how do we help pets live happier, healthier, more comfortable lives. And so being close to the customers, understanding them, getting feedback, building products based on what we were listening, that...
Do you really not look at it as a business at all?
Yeah, I mean, in all candidness, absolutely. It's everything that we do is pet first, and the business follows. And I think that's probably the only way of doing it. Because if the business was to direct, our decisions, most of them would not become pet first.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you hit the first milestone, so to speak, in your company in 2016 when you got an investor on board, right?
Yes.
A serious investor.
Right.
So was it difficult to convince investor to come on board? Because it doesn't look like the usual business.
The first one? No.
Yeah.
It was very easy. He was a bigger pet parent than we were.
Oh.
So for us, it was almost meeting love at first sight.
Really?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, he saw what you guys are doing and he just thought that because he is a pet parent, I would want to come and invest in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many of our early investors were just people who understood the long-term vision, customers, and, just HNIs, family offices, angels. And I think that we loved that they really were patient capital and they were willing to back just the vision.
And how things change after the investment happened. What Pause, is it?
Yes, we merged with a company
them.
called Pause, and it was run by two lovely people, Ridhima and Sandeep, and they came on board as co-founders. And we just had a lot of fun building it together because value systems aligned. And yes, one day at a time, brick by brick, store by store, product by product, person by person. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Looking at what the market is, which is very price sensitive. Also, I don't think too many people want to spend that much on their dogs. As much as they would love, they'd be like, "Theek hai, roti, this, that, whatever, we'll feed the dog, How much does it take?" How do you find that kind of market? Wasn't there pressure? Like, how do you make this work?
Yes, that has definitely
must have been the
been...
biggest hurdle.
You hit a nerve there.
I hit a nerve there, really? Tell me about this, yeah.
That has been such a challenging journey. So I think early on, it was very easy because we were building for a very small segment of true pet parents who really cared about getting the best for their pets. And then as we wanted to scale, we wanted to go deeper, there was a lot of pressure around price. And I think as a company, we just do not want to build rubbish just because we have to meet a certain price point. So we have truly struggled to find ways of not compromising on value system and trying to meet the market somewhere. And I think we still have a long way to go because we just don't want to compromise.
Yeah. No, but you're right, because I think I am also a pet parent. I have 3 dogs.
Yeah.
one golden retriever, a cane corso, and now I have this tiny little Springer. So I understand what you're saying, because even when I go and buy, food for them, I sometimes feel like I don't know what I'm feeding them. So I'd rather cook myself or, get meat or whatever myself. So because you really have to be very careful what goes into it.
Absolutely.
So like you're saying, that you can make it very cheap and put whatever in it. But then if you want quality, you have to pay for it. Right. So do you have any rules that you follow when it comes to the food that you're making for the dogs? Is there anything that you...
Two rules. We have to be able to eat it ourselves.
Are you serious?
Yeah, all of it.
No.
I will show you videos of me eating and testing all our food.
Yeah.
You eat the dog food that you're making?
Yes.
Like every single product?
And by the way, we're both vegetarian.
So he has the meat part. I taste all the veg ones. But it has to be human grade. It has to be super clean. It has to be stuff that we give to our pets. And we have to be able to use it every day. Like that is, there's no negotiation around that.
I cannot believe this. You eat everything that you make for the...
Every single thing.
Yeah.
On that note, I have to do this. And I also have to tell you that I have picked up chicken cheese flavor in these treats for Elsa, my 3-month-old Springer, and she only responds to it because we're trying to train her. So that's the only thing that I have to have in my hand. And it is your product, and I went looking for it because we were at a friend's place and they were feeding her, and she responded so fast to it. So I was like, what is that? So they said, this is heads up for tail. This is the first thing I did. So I've got these 2 big, dabbas of it, and she is doing so well at her training. So, but this is good. Now I'll go home and I'll take a bite of that.
Please do.
Because you eat it. So I will also share the chicken and
it doesn't have sugar, so you're not going to like it, but it's completely human grade.
But I will attempt it, and I will try. What is Elsa eating? I will also know.
For sure.
So, Samarth, I want to ask you about the Haft Foundation. Please tell me.
So actually, it's an interesting story. We started the company because we wanted to run a foundation. It was not the other way around.
Really?
But the idea was that we didn't want to go out and seek money from people from time to time to fund the foundation.
Okay.
So we said, okay, what's the best way of doing this? Let's start a company which will eventually fund the foundation.
Okay, now you have all my heart.
Yeah,
this
so
is
we actually
really
both of them started at the same time. And some of the proceeds from the products that we sell go into the foundation. And then the foundation itself has a lot of products, which it sells for almost no profit. And the money that it earns from that essentially goes out to help street animals, to provide education to little children, to collar drives, to water bowls across the nation. So yeah, it is actually a very endearing little thing going on within our larger organization.
It's a very, very big thing. It's hardly little. I think it's very, very important that you do.
Yeah.
So this foundation is being run by the money that you make from the business, and you literally establish your company so that you can fund the foundation.
That's
you don't
right.
have to ask for money.
That's right.
Yeah.
If I had an award here, I'd probably give it to you. But this is just like the most noble thing I've heard anybody do for animals, for dogs.
Thank you.
I'm just so touched with all this. I hope you guys do extremely well and keep growing this business and the love between the two of you. And I believe you guys still go on dates, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, middle of the week, this is happening. How do you do this?
So it was definitely a tradition for a long time. I'm spending a lot of time trying to set up our business in Singapore now. So we don't have that much time together anymore. But whenever we do, it's important because, life goes by and work is always intense. But even on date nights, we make a rule, no phones and no work talk.
Really?
But 20 minutes in, we can't wait to go back.
No, it's like no phones will still remain.
Get over this date. Can we just get back to work?
No, but just the two of us, we want to talk about work. We try to set those boundaries. We know that no work, we're going to talk about so many other things and life and all of that.
Then we realize, yahi life hai.
Yeah, this is life.
Who are we lying to? Come on, why are we kidding?
Yeah.
This is it. But tell me, how do you balance? I mean, when husband and wife are working together, doesn't that ever get in the way, your personal and your professional? Now that the company is growing and, it's obviously more responsibility and you now taking it to Singapore.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how does this work out, this balance?
There is
no balance. You try, we try, we failed. We've tried. Now we've reached a point where वो अलग ही country में चले गई है.
It just doesn't exist, I think it's about just giving each other the space and the partnership for us to thrive individually as well as collectively at work, outside work. And I think that's what we're trying to do, just support each other's journeys in and out of work.
I feel like he gives in all the time when you guys fight.
Oh gosh, no!
No, we actually don't fight very often.
Oh my God, okay.
We don't fight very often.
Okay, disagree is the word.
The last time we had a big disagreement was when she was moving to Singapore, and we argued about who was taking which dog. She wanted to take both.
Oh my God, you argued also only about the dog.
Yeah, only.
No, but we have disagreements at work, definitely. But I think it's nice to have different perspectives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just go down one path. I have blinders on when it comes to, the way that I think. And it's very important that he brings in different perspectives.
Yes.
And so we definitely disagree, and we disagree even with like larger teams. But I think that's great.
I think that is very important.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it
it's
is.
almost a flatliner. There is
Exactly.
absolutely yes men all around you.
Exactly.
It's the most boring environment to be in. There's
Yeah.
nothing exciting about that.
Yeah, no, we
It's
challenge
okay.
each other all the time.
I think that's wonderful. That's alive. And on that note, we're going to end this segment, and I'm taking you to a more exciting one in the next one. And this is called Rockford on the Rocks. Super honest answers, really quick ones, no overthinking. All right? First question. Who worries more about the business?
She does.
Oh, all heart. Rashi Samarth, their child and their dogs have a Sunday free. How do you spend it?
Just chill.
Chill, no?
Yeah.
Don't want to move. Vegetate.
Just chill, read a book,
Second
watch a
that.
movie, chat, play games, go for a
Nothing
walk.
hectic.
Nothing hectic.
Yeah. Who's more likely to bring work to date night?
Oh, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one. It's both of you.
Yeah, it is.
But you're the first one.
No, she's brimming to talk about
So you're
it.
like,
But
"Chalo, main hi bol
bol
deta
deta
hu."
hu.
Yeah, acha, it's one of those. Okay. Favorite place to pause and reflect. And pause is PAWS.
Yeah. The bed. Chill with my dogs, take an afternoon nap.
Oh.
That's all you need.
And reflect.
And reflect. Or early mornings, with our doggy.
In the park.
You really live it, don't you? Your business. Okay. Most unusual product request from a customer.
It's a funny one. She'll tell you the story.
Tell me. Tell me.
At one of our pop-ups, I saw this lady pacing up and down, very agitated on the phone. And then she came to our stall and she said, "Do you have electric shock collars for husbands?"
For husbands? Oh,
Why don't we make them? I said, "Oh, well." Or leashes. Another lady asked me for a leash for her husband. I was like, wow.
No, you're kidding me now. That
No,
one.
seriously. Really.
Oh my God.
I can't make these things up,
So what
honestly.
about a harness and stuff for husbands?
A lot of people have asked for harnesses for kids.
For kids,
But husbands is the unusual part.
Oh, yeah. What are the things you'd never sell at Huft, even if there was a demand?
Rawhide bones, low quality treats, anything that we don't believe in. Electric collars, prong collars, choke collars. Any pet store has this, and a lot of their shelves are full of this, and we wouldn't
I've
sell
seen
it.
those
yeah.
too.
We wouldn't sell that.
Yeah. Most dog-eared business book on your shelf.
I would say Steve Jobs, the big one about his life.
About his life.
For me, I think, oh gosh, I love reading, so that's very hard. But I think that it hasn't been about personal development that helps me be better at business or better at just being me. I love Robin Sharma. He's got amazing books on being better leaders, on being better people, on just doing your finest work. And yeah.
I can clearly tell.
My answer seems very toppish.
You're all head and you're all heart, I swear. Seriously. Okay. One thing about running a pet business that nobody tells you. If somebody else wanted to start, what would you like to share?
It's not just coming in and playing with dogs and cats all day. It's
Correct.
real work with real people, real feelings, and stakeholders to manage. So while the exterior is obviously a lot of fun, the backbone is still very much.
Yeah. I didn't ask, how much have you grown? How many cities are you supplying to now?
We are now in 18 cities in 3 countries.
3 countries?
Yeah, so we have our own stores in Singapore, outside of India, and then we have products that we sell to Russia and Kuwait.
Moving on to the next one. Complete the sentence. A perfect day at Huft is.
Oh, the day when we have photo shoots. You'll have so many different dogs and cats come in.
Wow.
And it's, well, for most of the people, it's playtime.
That was positively brilliant. Thank you so much for answering all the questions. And now you have to be mentor for our viewers in the Rockford Mentors Den. So what happens is that aspiring entrepreneurs, they have some questions that they write in to us about, and we want to ask you. Pick your brains on that. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First is, how do you keep your team motivated and engaged during periods of change or uncertainty? When you have those hiccups, what do you do?
It's about just over-communicating and oversharing, and I think that just makes them feel like they're much more integral part of the organization. And, we all do the typical things, go out for retreats, do drinking evenings, so on and so forth, but I think that's really where things start changing when you talk to them like they're adults and they're very much part of what we do.
Yeah, they're not just employed, they're also part of the company. They should feel that sense of ownership with the company.
Yeah, I think if you're transparent about the why of what you're trying to do, it helps people really come onto your side faster or embrace the changes that you're trying to make.
Okay. Hustle is a commonly used term these days. What does hustle mean to you?
I think to me, it just means getting your hands dirty and solving the problem, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Just going after it versus not. Or overthinking. It's just about, let's just do this.
Okay. Third, how do you foster a culture of innovation within your company? Of course, like you said, that you're coming up with new product.
I think you should answer that because you keep talking about it internally.
She keeps talking about innovation, yeah?
Yeah.
She's the one. Okay, please, yes.
We launch like hundreds of products every year. And I think innovation comes from insights, and insights come from staying close to your customers and understanding their pain points, frustrations, and what can you solve for them to make their lives easier. And sometimes you get it very directly, where somebody will say, here's what I need. But mostly you get it through conversations, How do you
do that? How do you stay in touch with your customers?
Going to stores, surveys. I read every single Google review across all 100 stores.
Wow.
Lots of ways of just staying connected. I'm on a lot of pet parenting WhatsApp groups, for like societies, and you just listen. And I think it's just about deep listening and taking insights from that and saying, okay, what can we do? People will tell you a pain point and you take it to the table and say, how do I create a product or service or make a customer journey that can help to solve this?
Is there anything that you're working on right now?
Yes, actually, we are working on going really deep on building products for disabled, specially abled, older dogs. Right, nobody's thinking of them, and aging can be very tough for our animals.
Yes.
Even dogs that have been through accidents, dogs on the streets that have lost a limb. So we're creating products around that. So working very closely with shelters, with vets, doing a lot of prototyping, seeing how do we really help with these products that can support them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I hope you hit success with that one.
Thank you.
That's a very noble thought. Okay, next one. What are the 3 most essential skills aspiring founders should develop? 3 qualities.
Resilience.
Yeah, I suppose that's the most important
That
one.
is absolutely the most because we forget how hard it is, and it seems very glamorous from the outside, but you almost go into war every morning and you just have to be patient and resilient.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
What's the best advice you never took but you wish you had?
Company mat start karo.
Oh, that's a good one. But you did do it, and you do it any or every other day, right? Like if you're given a choice again, you would do it. You still
I don't know
won't
if I
take
would
that
do a
advice.
company. I would do what we do, but I'm not sure I would do it in a company form.
How do you mean company
I just
form?
do it in a foundation form.
Ah, like that you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you say the same thing?
Of course. I mean, you wake up every day and you're like, where is the next missile coming from to hit you? It's literally like that. It's very hard.
Isn't it exciting also at the same time?
It is in chapters, but because it's constant and you don't get enough periods to rest, it can be very difficult.
Yes, but now that you've decided to go to Singapore, it's just the missiles are going to become more.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be more missiles coming
But I
now.
think that's the thing with entrepreneurship, that you're ambitious, you're hungry, and you just have to develop massive resilience, that you fall down 7 times, you get up 8 times, no matter what.
I think it's a blessing to have that kind of hunger.
Yeah.
That's something that you are just born with. It's not something you can learn. Some
That's
people
true.
don't have it at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's a kind of a blessing, and it's amazing what you do with that hunger then. moving on. Listening to your journey, I can't help but think about all the people who have influenced you and supported you along the way. And this is, of course, your inner circle. It can't be just the two of you and Sarah, right? So can you tell us a little bit more about, who else is part of this inner circle with you?
I have to say that it really has been my animals. I mean, truly, like I grew up in a home with them, and I've always been that, right from that little girl who just wanted to spend hours and hours with them to even now, like I'm just drawn to them in a very different way. That's really where I get my energy, my inspiration from. Like nothing lights me up more than being with them. And
not even him. All right, you come here to do the job.
He's second. But, and there have been so many people, friends, family, parents, siblings, my brother works with us too, and who have really supported us on the journey. And we could not have done this without them, because they understand us not showing up in a zillion ways for them.
Yeah.
And they're still there for us. And that just means more than I can ever say.
So this is very important to have that kind of support system.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so that is your inner circle.
That's for me, that's that. But
Very similar.
I suppose.
We share the same thing, so
The answer is
if she's not showing up, I'm not showing up.
Okay. What are some things that we humans can learn from dogs in general?
That's an
I
easy
could
one.
have
Now she'll write a book on
whole
it.
episode on that one.
We'll do another episode on that one. Yes. But just to name a few.
I mean, listen, I think that just the way they show up for us day after day, right? I often think of my dogs. They're a different species living in a human's home, and they have to understand us. They have to show up for us. We don't understand them. We give them barely any choices, and they're still unconditional. They show no judgment. Imagine if we could be a fraction of that for the people that we love. To show them that we're so happy to see them, to express openly how much they mean to us, and to just love.
It's unconditional.
It is so special.
It is so pure.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with how good or bad you're doing.
Exactly.
How successful, how rich or poor you are. It is insanely pure.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing about each other that annoys you. Don't talk about love. You're too good to be true, both of you. Now you have to say what annoys.
No.
Come on.
Be careful.
Incessant use of the phone.
Yeah. Same, by the way.
And you'll see her, and no matter what setting it is, she'll just be intensely replying back to whether it's Google reviews or email or whatever it is, or whatever she may be doing. But there is life outside of this. Dekh lo bahar.
And that's exactly what annoys me about him.
Can't be. If he's pointing that out, can't
because
be
he
the same
keeps
thing.
pointing that to me, but I think he's on the phone way more than I am. So,
And then we get into disagreements, and then we'll check each other. Kitne ghante the?
Screen time check karo.
exactly.
Okay, it's the phone. All right. I would like to ask both of you, is there any upcoming budding entrepreneur around you that you think is very promising? Can you think of somebody to look out for?
Wow, I have such a long list of people that I love, and they're doing such cool things. I think Ragini runs Leap Club. She just started that in Bombay. She's doing such a great job of building community and offline stuff. There's Ayushi. She's a friend. She runs Fable Street, building workwear for women. Actually, there's such a long list. I mean, do you have?
Yeah, I have a friend who started a chain of hotels, these small boutique hotels, and they're becoming more of a national chain. Company's called Claris.
Okay.
And they will be soon coming into India with the idea of providing hotels to younger professionals at a budget. So I know there are a few people doing it here, but they have a little bit of a twist on it.
You think they're very promising and to
Very
watch
promising.
out for?
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, who is your mentor from the industry?
It was my uncle and aunt, and they've both been mentors. They are also the first people who supported our business. And now my uncle is 86 years old, and he is as sharp as at 21.
Wow.
And his just advice about life, business, ethics, all of that have been a fairly important guiding principle for me.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of times mentors are mostly teaching you how to live your life.
Yeah.
You know, through the ups and downs. I
Right.
don't even know if it's so much about the business.
No.
Yeah. This has been such a beautiful, beautiful conversation. I have to say, you are such a beautiful couple. God bless what you're doing and the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And it's such a great example for other entrepreneurs to not just do it for the money and the, you know, and the business and the whole flashy, you know, idea about being an entrepreneur, but also what you really love every single day of your life. So yeah, wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Loved it. Can't let you go before you share your mantras that you live by with us, because this has to go on the Rockford Wall of Inspiration, where we put up all the mantras that entrepreneurs have shared with us, and we would love to know what's your mantra.
All right.
Thank you so much. I kind of expected something to do with dogs here. So it says, think positive with a paw and remember anything is possible. This is so beautiful. I think it really is what you live by. Thank you for coming and sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having us.
This has really been inspiring because it's not just about the business. I think it's so much about the love.
Thank you.
I hope we can inspire people with this story, but you've inspired me. Thank you for coming to the Rockford Circle.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.